How can I transcend all the problems of the world? All right, everyone. Hello, I'm Thomas, and welcome to my channel. I do mostly educational videos, and I write books and articles, and I teach courses and other educational operations. I specialize in the tree of life, which is this diagram here that you see. The diagram has 10 circles, numbered 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There's a 0 above the tree. There's an abyss right here in the tree. So you have 10 circles plus the other 2 is 12 different faculties of consciousness, how you normally resolve them. And shortly or quickly, they are this is our 10th sphere. This is our animal consciousness. This is our survival instinct, fight or flight instinct. We have the ninth sphere, which is a domestic consciousness. This is what we get growing up in the home. We are highly receptive when we're a youngster, and we imitate, we memorize and imitate what we see in the household. Now, the eighth sphere is similar, where we learn what to believe in the real world, in the public world, from all of the experts, the teachers and the doctors and the preachers and the politicians and the media. They tell us what we're supposed to believe, and then we rationalize that, and we believe that here at that eighth sphere. We believe what's coming from the eighth sphere. Particularly, a lot of times we're in the ninth sphere, but we believe what they're telling us at the eighth sphere. So the eighth sphere is where the institutions are. Then the seventh sphere is for kind of dissenters of the eighth sphere, people who see problems with what's going on in the eighth sphere. They move over to the seventh sphere, which is reserved for like the pleasure principle, also a creative spark, and our inspiration. So this is where artists and inventors come in, and they propose different alternatives to what's going on here in the eighth sphere. It also serves as a wedge to move up the tree with the inspiration, which is 1% of genius. The other 99% constitutes the long hike upward on this spiritual path. That goes into 6. 6 is the free will faculty. This is where we are, and we are paying attention from here, and we're making decisions. These are our core free will faculties. Paying attention and making decisions, in particular, the decision to point up the tree instead of down the tree, to point our attention up the tree. So here at the fifth sphere, we move up to the enforcement of the law, our sense of justice. So this is our karma. And it goes along with the fourth sphere, which is the articulation of the law in a cosmology, all the natural law. This is not the cops or the judges. These are not the state law, but the natural law. It also goes along with universal love and universal language. So it's the universal law. And then the abyss here is having to do with our psychic powers, being able to tune into and recognize omens in particular. The third sphere is omnipotence, all-powerful, comes out of synchronizing sound, in particular mantra, but other sound practices as well. Second sphere is more visual thing. This is our wisdom faculty, our ability to solve problems in particular. Omniscience. So omnipotence, omniscience, and then omnipresence, all present everywhere. That's the first sphere. This is the all. And you can think of it as really like the first ether. This underlies the whole universe. Everything at its ultimate center is the all. And then above the tree is the zero, and the zero represents everything that's not part of the all. So this is nothingness, and this is also the mystery. And those are parts of the creator that the creator reserves for itself. Okay, so that's a short version on the tree. Now, what I've done with the tree is I've used it as a template, more or less, to illuminate each one of the spheres. So I've applied a whole tree in miniature onto each one of the spheres, so that we have, instead of 12 categories, we have 12 by 12 categories, or 144 different fractal faculties of consciousness, which I term as being stages of life, stages of history, stages of spirituality, and cosmology. And those stages are not chronological stages as much as they are dramatic stages. So these are 144 different dramas that we go through. And if you'd like for me to send you a free copy of an annotated version of the 144 fractal faculties, just click the link below in the description, and I'll send you out a copy of that right quick. And that helps out because you will be able to have a kind of a scorecard, so to speak, for as I go through all 144 of these fractal faculties. You'll have a place to kind of put them mentally. And that's really what the Tree of Life is. Ultimately, is really an elaborate mnemonic device, or a structure that helps you put a place that gives you a place to put things. Okay, now today we're going to look at stage number 104. And this is another one that I've shifted and I've vacillated on in the past. It used to be number 105, but now I've changed it back to being number 104. And that was the question: how can I transcend all the problems of the world? So this one is also a third sphere thing, and it is actually the abyss, the abyss fractal. Okay, this is having to do with our psychic powers. The abyss fractal within the third sphere. So the third sphere is omnipotence, and the abyss is about the psychic powers. So it's kind of like a combination of those things. And this one is called deeper recesses of the mind. Number 104, deeper recesses of the mind. Stage 104 is about the trick of mantra, which is to occupy the left brain with meaningless words, removing the primary obstruction to meditation, which is getting lost in verbal thinking, and enabling deep penetration into the subconscious toward the higher self. The left brain has nothing to work with because the words of mantra have no meaning. Other sound synchronization practices also seek to block out the talking mind. Deeper recesses of the mind. Difficulties in life are just tests or travails meant to draw the best out of us. If we know this, we can act with aplomb in the face of life's stiffest challenges. An ambivalent attitude toward pleasure and pain is cultivated through austerities, which can put us beyond suffering. If we can truly love not giving in to either pleasure or pain, transcend the pressures and the pleasures. Transcending both is needed to go deeper into meditation. We have the ability to concentrate on one thought for as long as is required. deeper and deeper toward the superconscious at the center. Calmer and calmer waters are more and more transparent, so we can see deeper and deeper, carving out new pathways. Mantra is processed by the right side, while the left side is preoccupied with chanting. The right side of the brain is stimulated. When enough 1D things are stacked together to make it 2D, to give it depth, the electric becomes magnetic. Mind becomes matter. 1D electric words become 2D magnetic matter. Press out or de-excavate all of the meaning, all of the mind, all of the space, all of the electrons of thinking, the opaque waves. You're basically making all the waves stack together into less than 1 unit of space. Pressure eliminates space. Chanting pumps up the pressure and pumps out the electrons, the meaning, the waves, leaving dense matter, full power. More space, less power, less space, more power. And so if we could eliminate all space, we would have infinite power. But we can't eliminate all space, only all but 1 unit. Within 1 unit of space, there is only time, or there is only matter. 1 unit of power is full power. We eliminate the space by aligning with the rhythm of the mantra. The words of the mantra have no meaning, so they fit within 1 unit of space. When synchronized, all subsequent recurring waves can be embedded in the first one. If the words are all the same shape and the same duration, or synchronized, they can be stacked, saving space. Thought can be stilled with rote knowledge of the underlying structure. Calm locations in intersecting standing waves, or stacking waves. If thought waves can be stilled, they can be made matter, stilling the thought process and then staying awake too. Much clearer waters, much clearer idea now of what is needed, and a humility probing into the deeper recesses of the mind. Stay strictly with the sensations and investigate them, and sink into the deeper recesses of the mind, wherein reside the shaping forces, contacted through the shape of the stacked mantras. Recurrence of the same complex waveform, same wavelength, same shape, shapes our future. The wave stacks, the wave stands. Linear motion creates a volume, and rotational motion creates a structure, shape recognition. The structure comes first, then the sensation, then the visual thought, then the verbal thought is articulated. They all come at the same time, but we perceive them in this order. Longer-term relationship with the divine, quiet, calm places, external stillness in space, except within, where there is internal motion in time. The chant, the drone, the hypnotic rhythm, stillness, standing waves, stacked waves in the waters of the subconscious spirit. Gives rise to structure, a longer-term possession. Okay, that there is the abyss fractal of the third sphere, stage number 104, deeper recesses of the mind, which talks about how to use mantra to transcend all the problems of the world. In the Tree of Life, there's basically a different mantra for each one of the spheres. And so if you learn the mantra, then you can awaken that entity within yourself that corresponds to that sphere. So that's kind of how the third sphere works. There's other fractals on the third sphere that also address this. But that one is number 104, which if you're keeping score at home, it's really number 105. But I've switched it back to 104. As you may have figured out by now, this is a work in progress. And I sometimes waffle on things, and I move some things around. And that's pretty much what the purpose is to go through this and get some feedback from people and to be able to kind of shake out the kinks so that each new version is better than the previous version. So these first 144 videos are going to be more like a rough draft or maybe like a first draft. And then gradually we will kind of hone in on more accurate renditions of this and more inclusive, including other people's, input, because most of this is my input and the teachers that I've had throughout this process. A lot of this stuff here comes from a book called Meduneter, METU, capital Neter, by this guy Ra Unfer Amen, from the Auxerre Osset Society. You can really definitely check out those books, but I'm trying to kind of give it to you in a an alternative way of looking at it, and also adding in a lot of other stuff. A lot of the time and space stuff that I do is based on a thing called the reciprocal system, which is a system of theory that was derived by a guy named Dewey B. Larson in the middle part of the 20th century, toward the end of the 20th century, and has been refined by another person, Dr. Bruce Perrett, who is recently deceased, and his folks that will work on it, that they call it Reciprocal System 2. We'll be definitely dealing with a lot more of that as time goes on, and I will be doing separate videos on the reciprocal system as time allows. So anyway, just click the link below if you have would like to get that free annotated guide to the 144 fractal faculties. And you can also, while you're there, you can like, share, and subscribe. And stay tuned for my next video coming up soon. All right, thank you.